Hey everybody, it's the one and only Nicky V here, and I wanted to apologize for not uploading any videos over the past couple of days. There was a problem with my charge-up cable for my laptop, but that's all fixed now, and in order to make up for it, I am going to be uploading daily over the next several days in order to catch up to where I'm supposed to be. So basically, I'm going to be uploading daily until I get to the #1 team. So, hooray. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the #9 team on the Juggernaut Index, the Atlanta Falcons. If the Falcons manage to keep their marquee skill players healthy in 2010, then they're going to be awfully useful in the imaginary game. Atlanta enters the season as one of only 3 teams to place 2 players within the overall top 25. The Falcons also offer a tight end who ranks 6th at his position on our draft board, first all time, plus a talented, battle-tested young quarterback who's a steal at his ADP of 87.4. All these guys dealt with injuries last year, but as far as we know, they're healthy at the moment. Atlanta is a top-heavy team for fantasy purposes, so this is a relatively easy group to spin. Let's take a bulleted approach. Number 1, running back Michael Turner is an absolute workhorse. Not literally like with hooves, which would be unfair, but figuratively like with 20 plus carries per game. He's a punishing runner with an uncommon size-speed ratio. Turner isn't exactly elusive, but that doesn't mean tackling him is a picnic. If you're planning to draft Turner in a standard fantasy league, then you'd better have a top 6 pick. The man has reached the end zone 27 times in 27 games for Atlanta, and he's been very effective rusher on a per-touch basis. 4.9 yards per carry in 09, 4.5 in 08. Turner appeared in only 11 games last year due to a high ankle sprain, but he now appears to be at full strength. To date, he hasn't been a serious contributor in the passing game for the Falcons, so you have to downgrade him in PPR leagues. It's worth noting, however, that Atlanta has run some no-huddle, empty backfield plays in the preseason, and Turner has remained on the field. He caught 3 passes in limited action over 2 exhibition games. That may not sound like much, but he only has 11 total receptions over the past 2 seasons. Number 2, Jason Snelling proved to be a capable handcuff to Turner last season, rushing for 613 yards and 4 TDs on 142 carries. If the burner is your first pick, then make Snelling your 14th. Jarius Norwood has never received 15 carries in any NFL game, despite his career 5.3 yards per carry. It should be perfectly clear at this point that he won't be deployed as an early down back, no matter how the fantasy community feels. Number 3, Roddy White is one of the NFL's elite wide receivers, a heavily targeted wideout with big play ability. He's delivered 3 straight 80-catch, 1,100-yard seasons, and he established a new career high in touchdowns last year with 11. Draft him with confidence. If you're picking first overall in a 10 or 12 team league, there's a decent chance that White will be your #1 wide receiver, ADP of 24.0. He shrugged off a midseason knee injury last year, managing to play all 16 games. By the way, prediction. In Week 16, when Atlanta hosts New Orleans on Monday night, the broadcast team will refer to White as unknown or underrated approximately 870 times, just as the Monday Night Crew did with Andre Johnson. It won't matter that anyone with a fantasy team or anyone who knows someone with a fantasy team can tell you that Roddy is fantastic. Number 4, Michael Jenkins figures to start alongside White when healthy, though he's dealing with a shoulder injury right now and might not be able to go for Week 1. Regardless of his physical state, he's just a low upside option. If a 5,602 fantasy line works in your league, then Jenkins is on the radar. If he's not ready for the opener, Brian Finneran would likely step in. If there's a sleeper in this receiver core, it's Harry Douglas, a player who missed the 09 season due to an ACL tear. He produced a pair of 90-yard games as a rookie in 2008. Number 5, Tony Gonzalez slipped all the way to pick 70.1 at Mock Draft Central, where he's typically the 7th tight end taken. At that price, he should be a welcome addition to any roster. Gonzalez is coming off an 83-catch, 867-yard, 6-touchdown campaign. and those numbers would have been a bit better were it not for a late season calf injury. He only missed 2 games in his 13-year Hall of Fame career, so durability isn't a concern. This guy has given us 11 straight seasons with 100 plus fantasy points. That's no small achievement. When you consider that his career began in an era where tight ends rarely put up triple digits, Gonzalez led all tight ends in targets last year with 135, and he led all Atlanta receivers in red zone looks with 25. And number 6, I'm still the only member of the Yahoo Fantasy team who ranks Matt Ryan ahead of Kevin Cobb. Not sure why that is, really. Don't we have any interest in seeing how Cobb handles a legit NFL pass rush, or how he responds to ever... Nah, never mind. This is not the place to have another Cobb value discussion. We're discussing other birds. Ryan looks like a quarterback who can lead a very good team, a Super Bowl caliber team, in fact, for a long time. He has the full skill set and an excellent supporting cast. Ryan dealt with turf toe last season, an injury that caused him to miss 2 full games, and all but 1 series in a third. He still managed to throw 22 touchdown passes as the Falcons tilted the run-pass mix in his favor. If you're going to let me have Ryan in the 9th round and a 10-teamer, note the ADP above, I'll take him. Much appreciated. Number 7, the Falcons defense couldn't stop the pass last year, ranking 28th in the NFL, perhaps because they rarely touched opposing quarterbacks, 28 sacks. Entering the 2010 season, this unit looked like a situational option. It's not a defense you'll actually draft. The IDPs of interest are linebacker Curtis Lofton with 133 tackles in 2009, defensive back Eric Coleman with 116 tackles, and defensive lineman John Abraham needs to play like it's 2008 when he had 16.5 sacks. Rookie linebacker Sean Weatherspoon could get interesting too. There you have it, community. The 2010 Falcons have been spun. Let's hope this rank holds because my portfolio is ATL heavy. Whether you approve or not, please comment. Or feel free to Photoshop this thing.